Good morning, Your Majesties, and this is a new show, new series of streams with me, which is gonna be devoted to Majesty 2, one of my favorite games ever. And this show I have wanted to start for a long time, but my previous laptop wasn't able to handle that, and my new one is also kind of working at the pinnacle of its possibilities, but I think we are fine. And so the idea is that every morning, or the mornings when I'm able to, I'll get up, get ready, like cheer up, freshen up, and have some coffee, and then I'll start my stream to prepare for the day and to like energize for the coming lessons and so on. Wait, I don't need this trailer anymore. So, and this way I'm hoping to provide some merry emotions to you too, like sharing the story, sharing the mornings together, and yeah, so that will be a long one because Majesty 2 is, well, it's a kind of sandbox game on the one hand. You can play scenarios. On the other hand, it has campaigns, and there are also 4 parts of the game that were released. The first one is exactly Majesty 2, then we have Kingmaker with some new campaign, then we have Battles of Ardania, and then we have Monster Kingdom, which incidentally I haven't finished yet, though the game was released in 2010. So we have plenty of stuff in front of us to do, and well, this said, let's begin the new campaign in the vanilla version, and here we go.
Ardania, glorious Ardania. For the last 5 centuries, descendants of the great king have sat upon this throne. Indeed, 'twas the great king, our first ruler, who united the lands from the southern seas to the northern fields. He whose blade was the death of 1,000 foes. And each king thereafter followed the tradition, slaying dragons, hunting down necromancers, and exterminating legions of goblins and rats. Thus, each in their time came to be known as great. But our good King Leonard was born to hard times. The necromancers of old had long since been vanquished, and the rats had grown small and pitiful. And as he grew older, our king came to fear the worst, that his portrait might never hang in the hall of the great kings. Though he had yet to prove his mettle, the blood of a hero ran swift in his veins. Thus, our brave king, in his wisdom, determined that he would summon up the most terrible Baron of Hell. For indeed all of Ardania would sing the praises of any mortal who could slay such a beast. And so, applying all their skill and concentration, the court mages performed the terrible ritual. And the demon lord did appear. Leonard never wavered, but stood locked in his deadly contest for 5 long days. But alas, in the end, the demon beast prevailed. And so that spawn of hell took Leonard's place on the throne. Since then, many princes and dukes have perished in futile effort to destroy the beast. Darkness and despair have fallen over Ardania. But now I have found you, Your Majesty, the last heir of the great king's bloodline. You, our only hope. Your kingdom awaits you, sire.
So that's the beginning of the story. That's how it unfolds. We are an heir to a great king who unfortunately perished trying to earn some glory and fight a heinous demon and failed. So And I think I'll first of all run
Greetings, Your Majesty.
this mission.
Welcome to my humble mansion. Centuries ago, it was granted to my family by one of the great rulers of Ardania. We all have hope you shall become one of the great kings yourself. But first, you must learn the secrets of statecraft. My mansion will be just fine for this purpose. It's seen better days. I had planned to put it on the market, maybe look for something a little cozier. On the water, perhaps. Your Majesty wouldn't happen to know a good real estate agent, would you? The problem is, wolves have recently infested the neighborhood. They keep eating my chickens and knocking over my garbage cans. Why, I've had 3 stewards quit this very week. The first part of your training will be to deal with these pests, Your Majesty. Hopefully before the price drops too low.
So, every mission starts with such a screen where our advisor cheerfully tells us, well, not only cheerfully, sometimes menacingly, but he always has this great style of the royal advisor himself, and then it actually kind of galvanizes you for the start, because he's so vibrant, so convincing, and I love the voice actor who was the responsible one for this character in both languages, in English and in Russian. I actually played the game in Russian first, and that was just utter pleasure, and of course now I switched to English. So let's begin and see how it works. I of course know not only the basics, but I think I'm quite an expert of this game, but I want to show you what it is about.
A new quest for you, Your Majesty.
So this is about mouse controls, nothing.
First, Your Majesty, your cities must be protected. Start with the construction of a guardhouse.
Nothing difficult about mouse control, but now the differences. So it's a strategic game.
Happy to serve.
But you cannot control anyone. Like, they all act according to their own will and discretion. So the only thing you can do is build and use kind of indicative flags. You can spook heroes from some place, you can call them for protection, you can ask them to explore an area, and you can ask them to attack. And that's it, that's all you can do. Everything else happens within their own capacity, kind of. And you can also build guardhouses and various other constructions, we'll see. So let's first build the guardhouse as our advisor prompted us. Here we go.
Once you've chosen an appropriate site, your loyal peasants will begin construction. Peasants are the main labor force of the kingdom, Your Majesty. Keep an eye upon wandering monsters, as they're apt to make a snack of them.
Yeah, we can increase the speed of the game. You see, this is our castle. It has 8 peasants, 2 tax collectors, and 1 royal guard. Well, tax collectors wander around collecting money from houses, from guilds, from the market, and then they have to bring the money back to the castle or to the guardhouse. Now, if a tax collector is killed, the money is lost. So you have to be very careful about positioning.
Building is complete. Your Majesty, it is not becoming for the king to take to the battlefield himself. All the great deeds of the king are facilitated by the hands of your stalwart heroes. Heroes can be hired in guilds. I'd advise you to build a Rangers Guild, sire.
So we see 4 types, but there are much more actually. So, but that's only the beginning of the game, and it will kind of slowly build up, not to repel a new player.
Not bad for a start, Your Majesty. Once your peasants have finished building the guild, we'll start hiring heroes.
Well, it won't actually. We'll have to do it manually, and now the game doesn't provide us with an option to upgrade the guardhouse, but it is possible to make it stronger.
Your Majesty, the new building is complete.
Sure. So we can now hire heroes. We can maximum employ 3 heroes per guild. and to employ more, to hire more, we need to build one more. Let's do it just for...
A new quest for you, Your Majesty. I'd advise you to upgrade the guild, Your Majesty. Special training will be available to your heroes once upgrades are completed.
Okay, let's upgrade, and that's true. It provides some nice upgrades, quite empowering the characters. And for example, like this upgrade gives them an ability to shoot with triple force, which is quite substantial. You see, I'm having quite an army already of rangers, and
try not to be a spendthrift, sire. I have some gold left, but I'm not that rich to help you in the liberation of other provinces.
yeah, it's fine.
A building has been upgraded. You'll need to entice your heroes to serve you, Your Majesty. Give them a task and set a reward for its accomplishment. Different heroes like different assignments. Rangers, for example, like to explore new territories. Set an explore flag to encourage them to discover new lands.
So that's the mechanics. You put a flag, for example, here, and if they think that the reward is
Quest is completed,
enough,
sire. Good work, sire. Later, you'll learn to set bounties on your enemies' heads, flags for protection, and even flags to warn your heroes of danger. It's time to replenish your treasury, sire. I'd suggest you order the construction of a marketplace, the foundation of the kingdom's economy. With a brisk trade, your tax collectors will bring more money to the treasury.
now this one is gonna die. He won't survive the illness. Oh no, he survived. Wow, that was impressive. And that's quite important to have a marketplace. Actually, that's the most essential thing, because it generates lots of money, it sells potions. It's like the foundation of economy, and without a market is, well, it's a lost game already. Let's have upgrades. You see there are sewer entrances which generate rats.
A new building is complete. Your Majesty, you should order the traders to sell health potions at the marketplace. Heroes would gladly buy them to heal themselves in battle. It's a profitable venture, sire.
It's true.
Our research is
Let's research the health potion. See, quite beautiful animations. Oh, I forgot to turn on the emoticons. Yeah, because they create a lot of fun. Look,
Your Highness,
faces.
our research is complete. You know, Your Majesty, your heroes each have their own personalities. Some like to hunt, some like to fight, and others like to care for their comrades in arms. You must learn to use these inclinations for the benefit of your kingdom. Order your peasants to build the Clerics Guild. Its disciples will heal your other heroes. Moreover, with a Clerics Guild, you can learn the ancient healing magic of Ardania and directly intervene in your heroes' well-being.
Yeah, that's the next construction. Clerics, the healers. I'll build, I think, 2. One next to a marketplace. And they're more expensive than rangers. And in the meantime, let's read some description about rangers, because I want to introduce you to the heroes. So, Rangers Guild.
Your Majesty, a new
List of
building
guests.
is
You see,
complete.
we can see residents who belong to this guild. Description. The simple tenets of the Rangers Guild belie the power and influence of its heroes. Once, it seemed as though the days of the Rangers Guild were numbered. Ardania was united, its enemies defeated, and the wild lands tamed. What sort of life was left for the restless spirits of Ardania's pathfinders? The guild was saved by Hadar Halfman, the first master of the hunt. He persuaded the monarch to sign a decree giving the Rangers Guild status as the sole provider of royal photography. Now, All matters of land and territory need a stamp of approval from the Rangers Guild. And they have goods. Well, that means that this lists what upgrades we have. And let's have a look at the Ranger. So that's the hero display. We can see the artifacts that the hero has, artifacts and quality of his or her armor. Well, now it's the basic one. No improvements for attack and some defensive parameters, but that's like nothing. Then we can see the strength and agility and intellect and stamina. So that's these parameters are kind of decided randomly. So when a hero spawns, they all get different numbers. So you might have a stronger with more health or more powerful but weaker with like less resilience, more attack damage, and so on and so forth. Sometimes it's quite important, for example, with mages, because mages are really fragile, and so for them strength the more the better, because their kind of magical power is always sufficient to shoot anything, but they can be just killed with one blow, which is very frustrating at times. But I'll tell you about mages later when we meet them. So here we have inventory. This one is totally empty, unfortunately, because he doesn't have money to buy potions, and we need to think about it like a bit later. Let's find someone with potions. This one has potions, but they're not shown here because I think this is for artifacts actually, not for potions. Description. These dependable fellows love their job, Your Majesty, that job wandering around and shooting monsters. Sure, you still have to pay them, but you can't buy that level of enthusiasm. They are really very enthusiastic, they love adventures, they can be very reckless and get killed easily by bigger monsters, but they never stop trying to fight some overwhelming odds, which is quite interesting. So, and hero abilities like simple attack, hunter's shot, that's for animals, rain of arrows, that's level 10 when they reach level 10, and accurate shot that we got through guild's upgrade. Now let's employ the clerics. I thought I got two, yeah. So here we have clerics. Very powerful healers actually, and against undead they're super effective. Let's look into them. Why are they improving experience? Whoa, I didn't know that.
Which is my path?
So they improve experience. Wow, 10 years in game, I just learned that they get experience by healing. What a miracle. What will happen if I... So exploration doesn't give them experience, but healing does. That explains why they get levels so fast. Faster than mages. I understood. Now let's read the descriptions. You see the same, like we have basic armor, basic attack, but more, you see, more magic defense in comparison with Rangers. They have 10 defense against melee and 10 defense against arrows, ranged attack, but no defense against magic. That explains why they die so easily to magical monsters. Now, you see, they clerics are born with more strength, and that's why they have more health than rangers normally, but not always. And they have magic attack. Rangers have ranged attack, and they are slower than rangers. Rangers are faster. They have 4 movement speed, while these ladies, have 3.5. Now, description. You know, Your Majesty, clerics are an odd bunch. They shave their hair off and spend their hours in the quiet contemplation of the divine, something to do with the sound of one sandal clapping, I'm told. I wouldn't go to cleric if you are looking for some witty conversational party, but they are an invaluable resource. Their healing skills can spell the difference between victory and defeat for your heroes. That's very, very true. They're super nice and useful.
Prayer with my
And let's
sisters will come.
just rejoice that we have them. And finally, this Sacred Heal, Your Majesty spell, we have to research it because that helps us to heal somebody who's at the brink of death. Yeah, let's give them some money by killing this rat. Hey, why can't I? Interesting, I cannot target the
Your
rat.
Highness, our research is complete. Right, sire, that's the spell. Now you can heal the wounded without leaving your throne. It's just one of the many wonders you'll discover on your way to the throne of Ardania.
So we can heal, for example, well, I usually play with health bars on because that helps me to control everything better. For example, this lady is under illness, plague, and we can heal her, but that's not necessary, she's fine, but still, just for illustration.
The quest is completed, sire.
Yeah.
I believe, Your Majesty, that you are ready to fight some wolves. I've ordered the peasants to remove the stone barrier that blocks the way to the forest. Set a bounty on the destruction of the wolves' dens by using an attack flag. Only your heroes can accomplish this task.
Well, this is not true again. You might learn some spells, like kingdom spells, that will damage dens too. For example, some fiery spells from upgraded rangers, from archers of Helios, temple to Helia, and I think Mages Guild also provides some destruction spells that affect buildings, but well, of course, for tutorial, that's true. Now, you see I set 2000 gold and almost everyone immediately rushed to collect the bounty and destroy the den, but I'm actually expecting all of them to join the hunt. Why are they not running like this one, only two left. Now this one is also engaged and this one is going home. Alright. So they actually have kind of life cycles, like they hunt, they explore, then they come back to the guild, and do shopping, then they come back to the guild, and so forth, so on and so forth. Now, the fight, I can slow it down. Quite spectacular. See. Everything is animated. There's shooting. Healers are healing. The den is taking damage. Wolves are trying to protect. Now, all my company is engaged. And they're all low levels. They don't deal much damage, but like at the later stages of the game, when we have one dwarf. For example, a dwarf can destroy this den in two blows. Some archers can do this too. Mages definitely, so it's just a matter of time. Now we're almost there. Here we go.
It's completed, sire. A tremendous victory, sire. Well, perhaps I exaggerate a bit, but it was well played.
Yeah.
Already the real estate value for my mansion has increased. You have great potential, Your Majesty.
Thank you.
Onward to victory and the throne of Ardania.
Yeah, of course this is not serious. Days past 21, I have accumulated 13,000 gold, which is like nothing almost. Monsters killed, no heroes lost, and I destroyed one enemy building, not losing any of mine. I can assign a lord. A lord will stay with me for the duration of the campaign, gaining levels and so becoming more and more powerful, which is quite useful, but I don't think I want a lord from this mission because they are all very useless. Yeah, so I won't take any lord for now. Let's proceed. No, I want to quit without choosing a lord. So we have a star, which means that we completed the mission. Now the engine of commerce, that's difficulty level novice. mission objectives, build a solid economic system, and you see how many missions expect us to play them, and we'll have 2 more campaigns with, well, half the amount of missions here, which means like full amount of missions here again. A lot of fun.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
Good morning.
Still an early riser, I see.
Yeah.
I have news for you while we wait for your breakfast. Yesterday, after you retired, I continued negotiation with the head of the local Merchants Guild. Well, the guild is ready to sign a trade agreement with you. Believe me, sire, the kingdom needs this. There are certain concessions that need to be met, but the investment is well worth it. Soon a steady stream of gold will flow into your treasury. Ah, your breakfast has arrived. Well, the details will wait. Bon appetit, sire.
Well, my breakfast hasn't arrived yet because I'm playing, but I'll have breakfast after the stream, and then my lessons will start, so...
A new quest for you, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, to develop trade, you need to build the marketplace first. While your peasants are working, send heroes to the port. The Merchants Guild representative is afraid for his safety and refuses to travel alone. The port is located to the northeast of your palace.
I remember there is a bearman den here, so I'm not going there, because bearman is the biggest possible menace in this game, so no thanks. What I will build warriors first, then I'd like to build the marketplace, of course, for the potions too, and revenue to start appearing. Then not yet the smith. I think clerics are quite necessary now to heal everyone, and rangers to defend against wolves somewhere here, and rogues. I'll wait until the rats spawn. Marketplace is ready. Warriors Guild is ready. Let's upgrade it and build the warriors. Warriors are quite sturdy folk, and they... oh, here, see. They can, at high levels, they just are very resilient, incredibly. Oh, we have skeletons, so clerics are my next option, and I'd love to speed up the game, but when I was planning the stream I thought that I wouldn't do that at all, because it's kinda, well, when I play alone, of course I want to sometimes skip the events and make them happen earlier, but here I'm kinda trying to tell you the story, and you know, I'm hoping for people to come and ask me some questions, and so in this scenario I should be not in a hurry. Yeah, so you see skeletons are already kind of trying to chip pieces of my kingdom, and rats have appeared. Clerics, so I'm very short money. That's not alarming, because this is the second mission, nothing can happen. I want to build Rogues Guild here, because I want these rats to be eliminated. See? They went there, then they come back. When they come back, they bring the gold they have earned, and I think they leave half of that gold in the guild. After that, the tax collector comes and collects this gold. So that means that you shouldn't be greedy with your heroes, because the more money you give to... oh, this one is gonna die. No, survives. So the more money you give your warriors, the more money you'll get in return. Kind of like, you always get half of that, And the second half of that they spend on potions, on
Your Majesty, a new building is
weapons,
complete.
armor, and other stuff. So you get more if you spend more, which is a universal principle, I think, of life. So it's true here. Very useful spell, extortion, which is sometimes essential when you have like not enough gold to heal a hero or to revive a hero or to using the dwarven spell to restore a portion of the building. When you don't have enough funds for that, you use extortion and you lose like 25% of the sum collected, but still, sometimes it's just a life-saving solution. And I cannot build trading posts yet because I think I have to visit the port first. But I'm not ready for that because my heroes are not ready. They're too weak.
Gold, Your Majesty.
And you saw that I researched poisonous blades, poison oil, because heroes buy them and their blows deal extra damage. This bear is going to perish to my hero, and he'll earn some gold. Let's give them improved weapons, improved abilities. Hey, and you see there are treasure chests around. When they open them, you saw what happened. The blade improved, so they find artifacts there and some money. These treasure chests are quite useful and help me sometimes with equipping my heroes properly, while on my own I would spend much more time to do that. I'd like to buy this artifact of amulet of regeneration because my warriors are going to have money and I need to give them a chance to spend this money somehow. Ranger is already panicking, you see.
Research is complete.
Where to journey next?
Now upgrade the building. Every monster is powerful against a certain hero, and weak against another hero. So, and you should take heed of that when you start a game. So, if you spawn and see lots of beasts like bears, wolves around, it's a great idea to build like 2 rangers guilds. If you see that you are just infested with skeletons, then definitely you should go for clerics. Plenty of clerics.
My ambition has paid off.
Oh, no, she's not surviving, I think. No, she has survived. Lucky they are this time. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's give my heroes some gold.
Looks like good odds.
Yeah, now they earn plenty and can spend the money buying some potions and buying some amulets and buying poison oil. Also, I want to give my rogues and my rangers some improvements to make them more powerful, and the only thing left to build is well, to hire some
Your
clerics.
Majesty, perhaps it's time to collect the taxes.
Rangers can't
Your Highness, our research
fight
is
alone
complete.
yet, because skeletons, you see, they have great protection against shooters, 55, which is quite a big parameter, which is logical because they are like not that they are incorporeal, they are half corporeal, and that means that they are very hard to hit, and yeah, you see, hard damage. This ranger is quite powerful actually. He found expert amulet of protection, which gives him a lot of protection now, and well, yeah. Too bad that the ranger that fled to the guild didn't get money for that skeleton, which is sometimes a problem because you want your heroes to get money for, like, to get bounties, because if they don't buy potions, they die stupidly, and sometimes like it's kind of snowball principle. Like your stronger heroes are more successful, and your weaker heroes just roll down the slide, becoming less and less successful. And sometimes it's hard to break this negative feedback loop. I want to research this holy attack, which you see inflicts tremendous damage upon the undead, requires mana and magic attack. It's 8.0 amplifier, which is, I think, the only spell that exists in the game with such a figure, such a number, because other, I think, amplifiers finish at 5.0. But clerics are tremendously effective against undead. This one has to die, and let's kill this one. See, clerics are getting some experience here. And skeletons don't have any protection against magic, any protection against melee. That means that warriors and clerics are very effective against skeletons. Now the only thing we have to research in the marketplace left is a mana potion. And you see I'm slowly appearing on the camera screen because the sun rises slowly taking place, but not yet. But I think by the end of the stream I'm going to be fully visible to you, which is quite a funny effect. So what else we have left? We have Sacred Hill to research, and finally I'd like to build the blacksmith, and I want to build an inn somewhere here, and that is done to kind of concentrate your heroes at one place, because if you have a tavern, I mean, they will be going there to relax, not to their guild. And because guilds sometimes are located very far from the, well, epicenter of events, you want to have an inn cleverly positioned.
I'll try my best.
Roms is still struggling with rats.
Looks like good odds.
Rats look like nothing special, but actually they can be quite menacing.
My ambition has paid off.
Because of this plague and the number of them, and they have some health points. You might ask, why am I not destroying the graveyards and bear dens? That's because it is my normal playstyle. I usually don't destroy anything on the map until the last moment, because I want my heroes to be gaining experience points to the maximum, and that is that helps you big time. And if you just quickly destroy everything, then your heroes don't get experience, and so when real monsters come, you are, well, you have nothing to protect yourself with, because your heroes are not developed enough. And I think my kind of experience of the game lets me to manage it properly, the risks. Sometimes I kind of overband my possibilities, but that's only due to some recklessness and when I get too laid back with the city management. If I'm careful enough, then everything goes according to the plan. So we have a blacksmith. Now let's research the armor first, and after that we'll research the weapons, and heroes, you'll see, will come and buy the stuff. Now the first levels and the second levels of the armory don't really change the scales, but the third level improves attack and defense just immensely. I can show you. Somebody has to have artifacts. Yeah, you see, like expert steel armor, and here we have, like, this one is going to buy.
Majesty, the local blacksmith offers new services.
Yeah, she bought improved leather armor. Ooh, actually, that's something already. But I need a warrior to build something, to buy something like that. Improved steel armor, 35, 25, and expert steel armor is 75, 50, 25, and that's a big difference. especially in battles against some heavy brute force monsters that just obliterate my heroes sometimes. So blacksmith means a lot. It generates, well, moderate profit, but as you expand your kingdom, as you build more and more heroes, you earn more and more money because they will eventually come and buy some weapons. Now, I'd like to, as I said, I'd like to expand and build more heroes. So I want more rangers, I want more warriors, and I want more clerics, but thieves I don't want, because they are rogues. They are quite squishy, and I'm not sure I can deal with that. So, have I... yeah, I have zeroed everything. Now let's just wait until construction is finished. And I don't have enough monsters to be fighting with, unfortunately, because more monsters, more money, because you see, every monster also generates some money. 100 gold for a bear, and 25 for a skeleton, 25 for skeleton archer. And as, actually, that's another important thing, as the game progresses, like now it's day 21, usually at day 25-30 there is a jump of difficulty and more serious monsters appear. For example, black bears or veteran skeletons, who are just actually problematic to some heroes. And sometimes from the edge of the map some awful monster appears and approaches your kingdom, like an elemental or a werewolf or a bearman or some other abomination like an ogre. But at day 60 sometimes it takes really horrible forms, and some more scripts kick in, and there you have to face real challenges. So you better be prepared for day 25-30, and especially for day 60. And you see that I'm still waking up. My apparatus is not yet at full performance rate, but I'm going there. Now this ranger is, I think, dying. No, yes, you see the arrow was flying slowly, but finally it reached the ranger, because archers, skeleton archers, are not someone to joke with. They have quite nice damage rate, and rangers aren't the ones that can tank this damage. And this one also was stupid, not buying potions, so well-deserved demise. And he gives us a chance to show you what a graveyard looks like. This is a graveyard. That's where, let's read. Here lie the heroes who died in the royal service. You can resurrect them, shiny and new and ready for more heroic deeds. Cannot be destroyed. Now, of course, it's a nice place because it gives you a chance to revive your heroes, strangely not full health. At the same time, it generates skeletons. So, and actually, speaking of this, it's nicer to have a graveyard, so it's nice to sacrifice one of your heroes. Why? Because graveyard generates monsters, and thus it generates experience and money for your heroes. So, for example, you can set a bounty on this, 500 gold, and your heroes will get some reward, and sometimes you really need a monster to give your heroes something, and it's occasionally difficult to find this monster just randomly. Now, I haven't told you about the warriors and I haven't told you about the rogues, so that's what I'm going to do. But before that, let's hire the warriors. Let's upgrade the clerics guild. And now let's read. While our money is generated, we haven't read about rogues. Let's go to the guild first and see what it has. Description. The Rogues Guild is one of the oldest and most respected guilds, famous for its traditions. For thousands of years, not a single line was changed in its charter. A relatively recent change, the gender of its constituents, garnered only the alteration of a single pronoun. Those who like their courses poison, arrow-free, choose not to speculate over the reasons for the change. Suffice it to say that the guild continues to operate with the same quality and dedication as ever. It's interesting. I don't remember reading this actually. I think I skipped this. Yeah, so rogues are only female, and it's an extremely important construction in your kingdom because of this extortion spell and because of poison oil. But rogues are quite optional. They are great warriors. They have nice damage output, but they are really squishy, and you can only rely on them if you have warriors, because warriors can taunt enemies, and then they can distract enemy's attention from your rogues while they are dealing damage. But if you want to throw rogues as tanks at the enemy, that's a terrible idea. Now, warriors. Their guild is a nice barrack, and description: 6 stone walls, battlements, right flags. The look of the warriors guild represents the dignity, valor, and strength of those who dwell within it. Traditionally, only those of noble blood could gain admittance into the warriors guild. In our dark times, recruits are rare, and the guild has had to relax its hereditary standards, though certainly not its standards of courage. After years of harsh training, those with the martial prowess to survive are given weapons, a title, and a non-seasonal monster hunting permit. Seasonal monster hunting permit. You see, they quite cherish their monsters. They don't want to expand them like that. So let's buy some clerics and rangers. And let's read the description for the rogue first. Here's how they look. Some statistics. You see level 6 already, so a lot of strength, a lot of agility, relatively a lot. Nice speed parameter, nice attack output. Very squishy protection, but as I said, they're not for tanking, they're for damage dealing. Which is shown by this triple blade. Now, description. Rogues are cheerful young women with fleet fingers and sharp minds. They know the true value of gold and won't engage in fights they can't win. I'd advise you to watch your purse strings in their presence, Your Majesty, and you might want to leave the good crown. Yeah, true. And warriors. Like traditional warrior, of course. Nice folks, I love them. Not high movement speed, but level 3 you see already enough health, 150, of course not enough to fight 4 bears. So the warriors of Ardania are the most steadfast of heroes, bread and butter really. Keep an eye on them, Your Majesty, as they're somewhat fresh. They engage a stone elemental on the days out of training.
Which is my path?
I don't remember this. I think they've changed descriptions, because the description that used to be here was like maybe it was the Russian interpretation, but the description was something like they are the most important warriors of your kingdom. At least I strongly recommend to stick to this position in their presence, and at least their courage is nothing to dispute about, something like that. Maybe it was in the Russian version, maybe in English that was different. But anyway, everything is true. They are courageous, they are powerful, they are steady, they are strong, and so on and so forth. They are really, really nice guys. And we also need to research Eagle Eye, which is quite a useful spell, greatly increasing the view range of our rangers. And
Your Highness, our research is complete.
if you duplicate the research,
Your
it
Highness, our
doesn't
research
benefit
is complete.
anything, so I'm only doing this out of my perfectionism, like not to have anything undone yet. Do I want to build
Our
some
research is complete.
guardhouses? I think no, because they will be stealing my
Be gone!
heroes' bounties. You see, it's also quite important. Guards don't earn anything when killing enemies. But
Behold, Your Majesty.
these red men are hunting my tax collectors, so maybe I should build a guardhouse here to protect my tax collectors. I don't want them to be slaughtered because they have my money. Money is very important.
I'll try.
Now, what can we do? We've researched everything except for Call to Arms. Call to Arms is a nice spell. In case your kingdom is flooded with enemies, you just call to arms some novitiates of
Your Majesty, a new
Warriors
building
Guild,
is
and
complete.
they help you with protection, with defense. You see, I press the button, there is bells, and here we have squares. The front is of the Warriors Guild who hasn't passed his final exams.
A reward for my
Also,
toil.
every single monster has a description, but I think I'll keep it for future reading. This warrior is fleeing a bear. I can kill him, and he'll come back to fight.
My ambition
I
has
should
paid
attack
off.
them.
Now, my heroes. Sorry. My heroes have earned 1000 gold now, which means that they split exactly equally everything they have earned. It's interesting that coffee actually sometimes doesn't make your voice sound properly. It actually kind of affects your throat in a way that it becomes whistling and so on. It's really strange. Anyway, our mission was to reach the port. Now I think we are strong enough. We can send some heroes to here. So who will be the lucky one? This one. And him will protect.
Exploring for Your Majesty is a pleasure.
Because that will ensure that he doesn't die. Well, he won't die because I'm sure he has, 5 potions.
Behind me.
But I don't want him to flee. And now there is a nice crowd here, and they'll be ensuring that nobody flees and my exploration quest is successful. You see, I pressed this eagle's eye and the area increased a lot. Almost all people are engaged with protection. So there. Defense works on a kind of daily basis. Every day some amount of gold is subtracted from the sum, and that makes it quite a well-paced
Your Majesty,
money earning
the Merchants
scheme.
Guild reports that their representative couldn't come. A caravan of donkeys was sent instead. Oh no, don't be insulted, sire. It's even better this way. It's common knowledge that donkeys are the engines of commerce. Tell the heroes to protect the caravan until it reaches the palace. A new quest for you.
Now
Your
we're
Majesty.
protecting the ranger and the caravan, and that's interesting. Is it gonna work? Well, with such a crowd, I think it should. Can I heal the donkey, by the way? I think I can, so it's gonna be fine. I'm quite lucky that this ranger chose to... he chose to defend the caravan, and these guys are protecting him, so it's an interesting, scheme here. like how monsters never take fright, and they engage with my full crowd of heroes who are just bloodthirsty, and so they all like, a monster, and they just attack. Oh, you see they spawned out of nowhere. That's scripted attack. Where are my emoticons? What the hell? Why are they not shown? Strange.
A reward for toil.
So they are shown occasionally. Now, you see, all of them are angry. The caravan is almost there.
The quest is completed, sire. Good news, your majesty. Lands and materials for the construction of trading posts were brought with this caravan. The Merchants Guild made an assessment and have marked the places most suitable for trade with their caravans. It's time to make some gold, sire. Build some trading posts in those places.
So, places for trading posts are these ones. The more trading posts you have, the more expensive a new one is. Like with the guilds, like with anything in this game. The more you build, the more you pay. So my quest is to build all trading posts. And I think with this the game will finish. Probably. I mean, this mission. Okay. Let's wait. My peasants will have problems with constructing in such distant areas because I haven't destroyed the dwellings of monsters. It will complicate the process a bit. Like you see, this
Be gone!
skeleton already is pursuing the peasant, but the peasant survived thanks to the cleric and the warrior. I'm curious about this place because I suspect there is something menacing here, like bearman, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be mistaken.
Your majesty,
Remember there was something nasty there. Oh, I can also upgrade the trading post because this gives them a tower that shoots enemies. And that's not a very powerful one, but it's enough to fend off like 1 or 2 bears every day. And that's exactly sufficient because that's usually the amount of bears that keeps attacking. Apparently I was mistaken. Who died? Why? How come? It's impossible. So I was wrong about the bearman. Interesting. Why did I think there was one? That would be of course cruel to a new player to put a bearman in such a mission, but because they're really scary. They're really scary and very problematic. Oh, here we have a zombie. Where did they come from? From this place? No. What spawned zombies? Not this one.
A building has
Not
been
this one.
upgraded.
Where? Where do they come from? And zombies actually are a problem because
Your Majesty, a new building is complete.
because they have
Well done, Your
powerful
Majesty.
blow.
The construction of the trading post is finished. Is there any finer sight than a caravan laden with riches heading to market? The Merchants Guild appreciates your business and cooperation. Now, wherever you go, you shall have the best of their donkeys at your disposal, Your Majesty.
End of mission, I guess. Yeah. Now, proceed. No lord again, because they are quite useless at this stage. I mean, my heroes. Now, the Baron's Bill punished the Baron D. Lat for insulting your majesty, and the Great Towers protect the borders from the Minotaurs. So, I think I will probably stop at this point, because that was a good start. I'm really beyond over the moon that I have finally begun this series of streams. Hello to YouTube, and I think the next one is coming tomorrow in the morning. This is my estimation, but I'm not sure. I'll be streaming every time I feel that I'm ready for that, and I try to wake up early, and that means that I'll be trying to stream every morning. And yeah, so see you there, and bye bye.